Hi, my name is Gianna Johnson, and I am doing my presentation today on the Boys and Girls Club of Hawaii. This is something that's near and dear to my heart, especially because I grew up in the Boys and Girls Clubs, which is why I'm a little excited to do this presentation. I'm sorry if I get off topic, that might be why. So, just a brief table of contents. I'm going to go over a brief introduction of what the Boys and Girls Club is, what their mission and visions are, and just in general, what does the Boys and Girls Club do? Like, what services do they offer? What programs do they have? So, for a brief introduction, the Boys and Girls Club of Hawaii has a total of 10 locations, 6 of which are here on Oahu, and the other 4 on the island of Kauai. The first Boys and Girls Club opened up in 1976, so they're celebrating their 50th year here in the islands. And that first clubhouse that opened up is the Charles C. Spalding Boys and Girls Club, which is located at Washington Middle School in Honolulu. So, what are the missions and visions of the Boys and Girls Club of Hawaii? Their mission, first of all, is to help all young people, especially those who need it most, to reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens. Their vision is to provide a world class club experience where youth like me and you can graduate from high school, develop good character and citizenship, live healthy lifestyles, and have plans for the future. Having a plan for the future is extremely important at the Boys and Girls Club, which is shown in the programs and services that they offer and the help that they offer there at the Boys and Girls Club, which is kind of what I'm going to get into next. So, what does the Boys and Girls Club do? First of all, let me start this by saying the Boys and Girls Club caters for kids ages 7 to 17. It is meant to be an affordable after school program with cost of membership ranging $10 to $25 based off of age. This membership lasts for an entire year and only will need to be renewed once a year. At the club, they offer things like Power Hour, which is essentially an hour after you get out of school for homework help, tutoring, and college and career prep for those kids that are getting ready to graduate or are looking for their future. At my clubhouse, Power Hour was held in a room called the Learning Center, where kids had access to tablets, laptops, normal desktop computers, and things like books, so they can get any homework that they needed to have done. Because the Boys and Girls Club understands that not all kids have access to electronics at home, so they want to make sure that you have the ability to do it before you go home at the end of the day. Something else that the Boys and Girls Club provides is something called Torch Club or LIT. Torch Club is meant for kids that are ages 11 to 13, so middle school, whereas LIT is meant for kids ages 14 to 17 or high school. The main idea of these programs is to help kids build leadership skills, to give back to the community, and to build some real life skills. For instance, when it says giving back to the community, we did Lo'i patch work days, and then in LIT, some kids have the opportunity to go on a service trip. I personally got to go on one when I was in high school. We went to Alaska, where we went onto native reserves. We helped them build like greenhouses and things like that for their Boys and Girls Clubs, and we also helped to clean out some old churches so they could start converting those into Boys and Girls Clubs in Alaska. And a big thing for the clubhouse, like it gets competitive, is sports. They offer so many different kinds of sports. Almost all clubhouses offer basketball, volleyball, or flag football if the season is right. And some clubhouses, like the one that I went to in Of the Beach, also offers things like hula and judo. I'm not too sure if they still do that. And then lastly, this is something that's near and dear to my heart. It's a program called Youth of the Year that recognizes leadership, good character, academic success, and community service within the teens at the clubhouse. This program is somewhat of a competition, but it also helps kids to get a jump start on their college careers if they do win the program. It comes with a scholarship. Me personally, I competed for all 4 years when I was in high school, and it helps me raise a total of $8,000 for my college experience. They teach you skills like public speaking, how to network. So when you do Youth of the Year, you end up going to a lot of different activities and dinners and just like conventions where you learn to go out and talk to people and build a network for the career that you want in the future. They teach you how to write cover letters, how to build a resume. Essentially, the Youth of the Year program, while it is a competition, helps everybody that chooses to participate in it to build the skills that they need to be successful in college and after that. I would talk so much more about the programs that we offer, but unfortunately, I'm out of time. Thank you so much for listening, and if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know.